Hello, it's Val. I was going to do a vlog today about something totally different, but because of Actors Equity's recent announcement, I thought that I would talk a little bit about joining the union and my journey of being a union member. For all of you non-actors out there, Actors Equity is the union for live stage actors. They made an announcement this week where they basically made it open enrollment for pretty much everyone. I think it's exciting. I'm stoked about it. I just want to add my journey to the many voices out there who are talking about whether or not it's beneficial to join the union and all the specifics of that. When did I join and why? I joined in 2011. I was on a principal contract in a production of Cats at the White Plains Performing Arts Center. I wasn't initially offered a union contract, but I worked out a deal with them to pool all of the money that I would have made over the several weeks, right? Little bits weekly. I had them pool that all and pay me at the end on an equity contract. It was kind of a slick negotiation and it was pretty great. I was able to get my card really easily. I joined because coming out of conservatory, I had a lot of friends my age who were already members of the union or who were at least eligible and making their decision. And in that environment, it seemed like something that I should do. I wanted to be doing productions that were taking the business seriously enough that they could pay their actors what they deserve to be paid. And as I was living in New York at the time, getting seen at auditions was really difficult without having my union card. When has it benefited you? Having an equity card has benefited me in a lot of ways over the long term. One, it's helped me to say no to things that weren't really the kind of work that I wanted to do. Two, it really took down the number of auditions that I was eligible to go in for. I am a really busy artist just by nature. Having at least half of those auditions be off the table for me was helpful with my anxiety and being able to feel like I was doing everything that I could do to get work. I think it's benefited me just in that for the last decade since I joined, it has really pushed me to value my time when I'm working. It's pushed me to understand and see what time for money really is, and that's helped me a lot in my endeavors outside of theater as well as within it. It's also been a real benefit to me when, as I've been getting older, I'm in my early 30s now, whenever I'm doing an ensemble show, especially where I'm dancing, it's a lot more taxing on my body than it used to be in my early 20s. Being union helps me to spread those times out so that I'm less likely to injure myself. It makes those really taxing rehearsal processes more bearable for my mental state just because I know that I'm getting paid a good rate to be doing all of that work. Really the only time that being a member of the union has been difficult for me was in the last few years that I've lived in Los Angeles. I didn't grow up here, so getting to know the theater community, which is small and tight-knit, I just felt a little bit behind because so many actors who choose to be based here choose that because they have grown up here, they've trained here, they have been working with the directors and producers of the regional market since they were teenagers or children. That's a hard community to break into when you come in already saying like, hey, you don't know me, I haven't networked with you, but I'm union, when they're usually used to giving union contracts either to out-of-town actors who have really hefty resumes and have been spending most of their career in New York City, or someone that they've known most of their lives, have worked with them non-union for years and years before that person finally got their union card. Their relationship with them is what allows them to get past that money barrier, that they're willing to have someone that they know really well come in and play a lead even though they're not an out-of-town actor from New York. I really considered possibly getting rid of my union status during that time just because I was going in for things and I was too expensive to get an ensemble role because there's so much talent in Los Angeles that is non-union. So they can cast an entire ensemble of high quality non-union actors, but I wasn't well known enough here to be cast in a lead. And often female leads, unfortunately, it's patriarchy stuff, often female leads are also cast non-union because there are so many of us. That's that whole like supply demand issue. So yeah, there was a minute there where I thought, oh, maybe this isn't worth it. I want to have more leads on my resume. I'm tired of being an ensemble dancer. I'm getting older. My body is tired. I have little injuries, all of that. I'm happy to be a union member now. Over the last year and a half with the pandemic, I invested a lot of time and money into understanding my self-worth, thinking a lot about what I wanted and what I don't want, and also spending a lot of time in holistic business courses where I was really learning how important it is to value your time and value yourself. My philosophy on the union now, the more people who join it, the more theaters are going to have to step up to make the money that they need to have the actors that they want. And I see an incredibly talented non-union actor book a role that I was also going in for, that we were both called back for. I'm not bitter that they got the role and I didn't. I'm sad that they're going to be asked to do the same amount of work for way less money. And to my understanding, I haven't been non-union for a while, but to my understanding, often the non-union rate for regional productions on the West Coast is minimum wage or less. I was at an audition a couple of years ago where the director came out at the beginning of the callback and announced to everyone that after all of this time, they were now finally going to be paying their non-union members minimum wage. To me, that's ridiculous. I don't think any adult who has specialized training, specialized skills, especially all of the skills that are required of musical theater actors, I don't think any adult in that situation should only be making minimum wage. I do understand that the current reality is that in order to get the credits that you need to advertise yourself the way that you'd like to, the easiest way to do that is to stay non-union until your resume looks the way you want it to look, and then when you're feeling solid about how you're going to be able to market yourself, whether that's primarily as an actor or as an actor-singer or as a singer or as a dancer in an ensemble, whatever you're going for with your resume, the philosophy currently, at least on the West Coast, is stay non-union until you have all of that set and you've made a lot of connections. Do I wish I would have gotten some leads on my resume before I joined the union? Absolutely. The hope for me is that if we are able to band together and all join, it will put these theaters in a position where they cannot hire talent unless they're paying them what they deserve to be paid. Not just as highly skilled, specialized, trained performers, but also just as human beings. If you're making less than minimum wage, you need to really keep track of how long you're going to allow that to go on. If all of us join the union and we all together expect theaters to pay us what we're worth, then being a member of the union and getting paid what you're worth will be the baseline. Then you can negotiate more. What we really need is for theaters to be doing the bare minimum, the bare minimum, which is paying you like an adult who has specialized skills. That is my soapbox. That's my opinion. That's my hope. That's a very idealized hope. I recognize that however this shakes out, if a lot of people join the union, then it's gonna be safer to join the union. If not very many people join the union, then it's gonna stay the way it is, and it's not gonna be as safe to join the union. The union won't have as much power. That's my kind of macro philosophy on it. The micro philosophy is you have to make the choice that's right for you. If you're mostly getting cast in a kind of role that you actually don't want to be playing through the majority of your career, I might suggest that you stay non-union until you really get those roles that you want to be known for, that you want your resume to say, I'm this type, put me in this role. That would be my advice to you. If you already have that resume and you've got what you need, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Yes, you will do less shows in a year, but those shows will be well paid and you will be protected. And trust me, the older you get, You want to do less work for more money as much as possible. The one last thing that I want to say about this is don't let anyone bully you into your decision one way or the other. I've heard horror stories of people being told that they would never work somewhere again if they ever joined the union. And I've also heard the other end where, I mean, for me, I think I probably joined the union a little bit soon. You do your research. Get on the Actors Equity website, read what you can, talk to as many people as you trust, get as many journeys into your toolbox of understanding as you can before you make that decision. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about your specific situation and whether or not you should join the union, feel free to reach out and message me. You can find me on Instagram at Val Larsen. I always answer my DMs there. I don't think that I'm the only opinion that you should hear. I think that you should seek out as many opinions and pieces of advice as you can because this is a big deal and there's a lot happening. If I were you, I would also wait just a little bit to see what happens because we still don't even have details on all the ins and outs of Equity's announcement. Keep your ear to the ground, be prayerful, be thoughtful, talk to people that you trust who seem to be having a good time in their career. Not just a successful time, but a happy time. All right, that's it. See you next time.